Hey, what did I gotta know about World War I? Well, it wasn't exactly World War I. Not all countries of the world were involved, only some. Many know it as the Great War. What caused it? Well, before the war started, they were all fighting to be on top. Germany felt that, if they wanted to be on top, they can only win a war now, not later. Austria-Hungary wanted to solve the Pan-Slav problem once and for all. Russia wanted access to an all-weather port. France believed that being loyal to the alliance system is the only way to remain a major power, and Britain wanted independence of sovereign states and curbing the ever-increasing strength of Germany. But what really caused a war? Just remember mania: militarism, assassination, nationalism, imperialism, and awful government. But also long and short-term causes that you must know. Long-term causes include militarism, nationalism, and imperialism. Short-term causes include the assassination of Franz Ferdinand, the blank check that Germany gave Austria-Hungary, and the ultimatum that the Austrians gave Serbia. How did Franz Ferdinand die? He was an awful government. He made a bad decision to visit Serbia on June 28, 1914, the day they were celebrating their independence and freedom. He was killed by Gavrilo Princip, a member of the Black Hand, who already threatened to kill him if he ever visited. Well then, he was asking to be killed in that case. Now, focus. The war was between two main alliances. There was the Triple Alliance, aka Central Powers, and the Triple Entente, aka the Allied Powers. The Central Powers included Germany, Austria-Hungary, and Italy. The Allied Powers consists of France, Russia, and Britain. Okay, the government got everyone hyped about war by using propaganda. It was a way of advertising using posters, songs, chants, etc. to glorify war. Back then, war was romanticized. It was new, different, exciting, and everyone wanted to be a part of it. People wanted a chance to go somewhere out of their own country. Did everyone want to go to war? Well, most people. The French Canadians were very upset about going to war. The English Canadians were proud to go in support of Britain. But the French weren't tied to France, nor were they very close to Canada. Therefore, they didn't feel any motivation to join the war. They didn't feel like they belonged much. So from beginning to end, what generally happened? Like I've mentioned earlier, it started with the assassination of Franz Ferdinand. After that happened, Germany gave Austria-Hungary the famous blank check with Germany's support. Austria-Hungary prepared for war against Serbia. Then, they sent Serbia an ultimatum. Serbia agreed to most of the terms, but wanted clarification on a few points. Austria-Hungary took this as rejection and fought at it as an excuse to go to war. On July 28, 1914, Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia. As this happened, Russia gave Serbia its own version of a blank check to mobilize its army against Austria-Hungary. Germany demanded Russia to demobilize, but when this didn't happen, Germany supported Austria by mobilizing its army against Russia and declared war. France had an alliance with Russia, so France also declared war. Germany then felt threatened by France and Russia, so it declared them to stop mobilizing. When this didn't happen, Germany declared war on France to attack France. Germany created the Schlieffen Plan, a huge mistake. What was the Schlieffen Plan? It was when Germany planned to attack France through neutral Belgium, to avoid a two-front war with France and Russia. This was planned by Alfred von Schlieffen. What he didn't know was that Britain had Belgium's back. They said, if a country entered Belgium with purpose of war, they would stop it. So after that, Britain obviously declared war on Germany. And what else do I need to know? Through the trench warfare, there were different technology being used. Then people started to expand on weapons. There were tanks, poison gas, machine guns, submarines, and airplanes. War at sea was what brought the Americans into the war. When German U-boat, the Lusitania, sank the British ship with important Americans in it. Major battles include the Battle of Ypres, the Battle of Somme, the Battle of Passchendaele, and the Battle of VMY Ridge, the one where Canada proved itself the most and gained great recognition. So, Bell's gonna go. I guess the Allies want the war. Just remember, the war ended when the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk between Germany and Russia took Russia out of the war, and the Allied stayed strong with the US. The last 100 days of war was when Canadian troops were in the forefront of the most difficult tasks of dislodging the Germans from their defensive positions. The war officially ended on November 11, 1918, when Germany surrendered.